I tried to explain this in an email, and I figured that a video would actually be much, much better. So check this out. So here I am. I'm on the Prism Element where I've logged into that IP address directly. So 109 is 49.37. If I go in to create the network config and I go into virtual switch and I create that virtual switch, we'll call it VS7 because I've already done some screen captures with VS6. Notice that when it says all hosts, there's something very important here. When it says all hosts, the only hosts that show up are in this particular cluster, 109. Okay, that's very, 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 very key. But I've got the spare port, Ethernet 3, and I'm going to select that across all 4 hosts. So forth and so on. I'm going to go ahead and create that. I'm maybe there's no uplink bond because it's wanting those 2 uplinks. So no uplink bond, create. It creates the virtual switch. We see it go green. Matter of fact, if we look at our tasks, here's where I tested it before. But if we look at all tasks, we see it's creating that virtual switch, right? It's taking a second for it to run. I'm going to go back over to VMs, go back to network config, and it shows VS7, even though it's still running, okay? Trust me, it created it. And then I can come over here to subnets and I can create a subnet and we'll call it, P2P because that's what we're going to be doing on it. We're going to take the default native VLAN 0 and I'm going to say that it's on VS7 and save it. And you'll see it created P2P on VS7. If I flip back over here to Prism Central and I go to my virtual switches, there's VS7 and it is a single cluster virtual switch. Check that out. Now, here's the funny part. If I go back over to here, I'm going to delete that P2P. I'm going to delete the virtual switch. Okay. And we'll wait for it to complete. It's deleted. It's deleted 100%, 100%. I do believe I'm going to clear that out. Yep. Okay. So it's all gone. Just to verify, no P2P VLAN subnet, no virtual switch 7. Now, I'm going to go over here to Prism Central. I'm going to go down here to my clusters. I'm going to go to that same cluster and say launch Prism Element. It's going to launch the Prism Element. It's going to log me in. It's going to validate me. It's going to authenticate me. And I'm going to go through the same exact task, right? The same exact task, except I'm accessing Prism Element via Prism Central. So go into VMs, go into network config, go to virtual switch, and I go to create virtual switch, give it the name. I'm going to call it VS8 because it's different. Now when it says all hosts, look at this. The other cluster shows up. Right? So I'm going to go in there. I'm just going to select 109 because that's the only ones that we're dealing with. Oops, not 108. Scroll down, 109. There we go. I'm going to pick that same Ethernet 3. Same Ethernet 3. I'm going to create. Oops, sorry, forgot. Need to be no uplink bond. Create. We'll give it a second to create it. Let's go over to my tasks. There it goes. Yep, it's creating it. Once it gets above 25%, you can go ahead and see it as it's finishing up those tasks. All right, that's good enough. Go back over here, go to network config. Look at there, we have VS8, right? I'm going to wait for it to complete in the background. I don't want you to think that the error that I'm getting is coming from. Okay, 100% succeeded. Go back over here, network config. We got our virtual switch 8. I'm going to go to subnets. We're going to create that same P2P subnet. I'm going to go to VS8, VLAN 0, hit save, and bam, there's your error message. Isn't that crazy? So it's a matter of logging directly into Prism Element and creating the virtual switch versus accessing Prism Element via Prism Central. Kind of odd, but there's your difference.